welcome to another edition of A Rare Reality, a podcast. It's powered by Jordan's Guardian Angels. I'm Christina Janes, Director of Outreach and Awareness for JGA, and I am joined by our project director today, Carol Backhouse. Carol, 2022, we made it.
Yay!
Our very first podcast of the year, and we are so excited. We're going to be looking ahead to the year and to what we're planning. I mean, there's a lot that we're looking forward to here because we're growing in leaps and bounds, it seems, every week.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, 2021 was a great year for us, and we're excited for another leap forward, and all of us doing more, and our family. It's just exciting. So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's fun to see, and it's fun to sort of plan ahead. And every year our I feel like it's great to sit down with the team and we plan ahead with our goals and everything that we want to achieve, and then to execute through the year. It's really exciting to see what we are accomplishing and what, as a whole, our whole community is doing too.
Yeah, and we're growing at a faster rate than we were before. So this work is starting to get recognized, where people are knowing about the condition, getting their diagnosis earlier, which is very beneficial for the family. So it's all headed in the right direction for sure.
It's so great to see that, everyone's benefiting from it. Plus, we're expanding in the rare disease community, which is so important, because the more people that know about Jordan syndrome, but also if we can get the whole world to know about rare disease, what a difference that will make for us.
Yeah. Working together for sure. Yeah.
So we have some changes that we're kind of implementing this year for our JGA families, especially when it comes to communication, because we took a long, hard look at social media and our Facebook page, and we wanted to make sure that that was really a safe space for families to interact too. So as you know, we've changed up the way we're going to communicate. So talk a little bit about the email and text aspect that we're going to be putting out there.
Yeah, so we're excited that we're going to be sending weekly emails to the families with like your recap of everything. As you said, things get missed on Facebook, plus we wanted to clear that space for families to be able to just be family to family kind of interactions without missing the important information that they'll need to know in terms of what's happening, what we need help with as a group, where's the next thing we're doing, right? So that's where the thought of weekly emails came about. And so far, feedback has been positive from the families about that. And we have most of our community's emails, at least one per family, but you can certainly be part of that distribution list. We plan on just one email a week with an update of what happened, what's coming. And there's also the text option. So you get a little text saying, hey, reminder of this, or check your email about this week's announcements or whatever that might be. So nothing too overwhelming, but really we're hoping it's just enough to keep everyone informed about the research, about the group, about the events, and be able to keep track of them all. So if we have your contacts, you're going to be added automatically with an option to unsubscribe, but please don't do that. We want you to stay with us on this and get all the information, especially when it comes to the research and what we need our families to do and all that. But if we don't have your information, we will link the form that you can fill out. And again, of course, we won't be sharing these beyond this. This is the only purpose of this, is to be able to communicate with our community and share with our families all the important information. So take a minute and fill it out. We'll add you, and then you'll stay informed.
Yeah, and I think the important part here is that it's just a new way to make sure that you're not missing anything. Because, when we started all of this, it was just, we were little, and now there's so much happening that we don't want anybody to miss out. So just a new way to make sure that it's sort of just a one-stop shop for everything that you need to know from that particular week. So we're looking forward to it. But you mentioned the research. A lot happening on the research front. We met with our whole team just last month, and it is always so great and so motivating to hear what they have to say. And they're incredible. We all know this, but for specifics on what they went through, that came out in both JGA Connection and the newsletter too. But you had some things you wanted to touch on for each individual group.
Yeah, I wanted to specifically share the main things that we will need our families to participate in. Because I always say this effort starts with our children and ends with our children. So if we're not part of this loop, none of this will happen. So for our 2R1A community, as you know, we had the publication last year and we're ready for stage 2 of that. And the focus is going to be on mostly on epilepsy. We're going to look at the types of seizures within the group, how they impact, what do they do. And we're going to need help from families to really look at the data there, get as much information as possible, and really look at what works, what doesn't work, because the hope is to have specific guidance for families going forward of how to deal with this. So there's going to be a survey coming out to collect some of that data. And we're going to have a Zoom call with the 2R1A community and Dr. Violet Janssens to kind of kick off this effort, share about what we're doing, how, and how you can help. So stay tuned with that. The 2R5C community, we have a publication in progress. There's currently 18 individuals. We're not connected to all of them in our community, but we send them the information. We're hoping they reach out and connect with us. But if you're not part of this effort, I really encourage you to do that, because with such small numbers, every one of us makes a huge difference in terms of getting the full picture. So contact us and I can link you directly to the research team that is working on that. So you can include your child in the information and be able to move that effort forward. And then for the 2R5D community, we're getting ready to launch the natural history study, part of this effort. And you can think of as collecting the baseline data and it's a very long, extensive list of what that is. We're going to be collecting some through online surveys. We're going to be collecting some in person outside the conference and in person during the conference. And where Dr. Wendy Chong has a goal of 50 families to do this first year. So we're going to need our families to be on board to participate in that and provide their time and their commitment to do that. Because once we have all that very detailed baseline data, if there's a potential treatment or cure, we can look at how is it impacting. Is it maybe impacting epilepsy but not speech? Maybe we need 2-3 combination of medication to do more of the symptoms, etc. So it's really important to collect that information and kind of recollect it, and that will be the clinical trials at that point, right? And look at, okay, how did this treatment impact this data?
This is how we move forward. I mean, at the end of the day, we need everybody to buy in as much as possible. So it's all beneficial for our kids. You said the magic word. You said conference.
Yeah.
So, on our end, we are living and breathing family conference planning. But for our families at home, I mean, truly, when we say that this conference is not only to have everybody come together safely, of course, but also to make sure that we have all of the information that we need to move the research forward. So it's not only amazing to have everybody together, but it's necessary. This is a necessary step.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the conference plays a huge role in the natural history study, as I mentioned, because we're hoping to capture at least half of our goal of 50 during conference. But also, it's exciting because we're going to have virtual way to attend as well. So if you're not able to come in person for whatever reason, you're going to have access to the conference virtually. So we encourage everyone to sign up at least for that option, because you'll still get the same information, maybe not exactly the same experience, but at least you can connect with the other families virtually and do that through that. But also we have for any new families that didn't get a chance to pre-register, we want to give you an opportunity to still do that. If you missed that the first time around and you want to attend, we'll provide that pre-registration link. Do that, and then you can also change your mind in the next few months before we have the actual registration. But if you think that's something you want to do, please go ahead and pre-register. Of course, it's all safety dependent and COVID dependent. So if at any time we feel getting us all together is unsafe for our community, we will not do that. But for now, we're hoping by July we'll be in a better space.
Yep. Fingers crossed. That's for sure. Another way that we're supporting our community, but also making sure that we move projects forward, is having this special projects committee where families from around the world can come together. We're having meetings on with specific groups. It's a 2-year commitment, but we'd love to have more people take part if it's possible. So talk a little bit about the breakdown of how this works too.
Yeah, so within the Jordan's Guardian Angels team, we have these pillars of goals that we work towards. The research, we have access, which is providing access to our families for everything we're doing. We have reach, which is our outreach and awareness effort we do with the outside world. Educate, which is educating the medical community about who we are, what our efforts, what is Jordan's syndrome, and then also fundraise, because we can't do a lot of the above without the fundraising efforts that take place. And we tried something last year in 2021. We said, hey, families would love for you to be more engaged, would love to diversify the input of these projects, and would love your help to do more, basically. And we had 22 of our families step up and say, hey, yeah, we want to be part of this special projects committee. So we organized into these 5 subgroups, and we're working on these projects, and it's been really great. Really a big thank you to everyone that has offered their time, mostly on weekends, to capture all the time zones to do that, and your input. And I hope you're also seeing how your involvement is impacting the bigger picture. But we wanted to we want to continue with this, and if you are not part of the committee and you'd like to be, it's open for that as well. English is not a requirement. We'll make it work. And but we ask you to commit for a chunk of 2 years so we can see our projects through, and have that consistency in the effort going forward.
And I think that, one of the other goals that we have moving forward, not only in bringing everybody together, but is to make so much of what we do accessible to everyone, whether that be that we are taking our podcasts or our other videos, putting them on YouTube, making sure that you can use the translation services there, but also making sure that diversity is important, making sure that that's obvious to our families, that we're making everything accessible. So we've talked a lot about the translation and other opportunities for everyone to be included.
Yeah, and a big part of that, we need your help to do that. Where even within the States, I live in Colorado, and I might know what's needed here and what kind of resources my family would need. But if I go to the next state over, this is all new territory. I might not even know. Now we're talking about countries across the continents that none of us might have visited before, right? Or languages we don't speak. So that's why we really need you to come and say, this is how you support my effort within my community, within my country, within my kids' school. And we want to do that, but without your guidance, we're not going to know what is it that
what you need,
all our 33 countries and families around the world need. So that's why the special project committee is a way for you to kind of influence that and help guide that. But even outside of that, if you feel like the efforts that we're doing is not representing you or your family, please know this is not on purpose. We want to represent everyone, and we need your help to do that. So as we work on, improving our diversity, inclusion efforts, help us along the way and tell us where it's missing and how do we close these gaps.
How do we make it happen? And on that note, we're always here for everybody. We're always accessible. You can go to our website. There's actually a brand new section on the contact us area that you can specifically delve into what kind of question you would like to have answered, whether it's for one of the team members about fundraising, about research. There's an opportunity now to reach out in a different way. So check that out. If you have any specific questions, or if you have a general question, you can send them there too. But just giving our families a way to reach out to us if they really do need something and it's pressing, it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly it. We're here for our families. We're here to help the research, to help the awareness, to help support you. So don't feel like we're out of reach by any chance. I mean, and as you know, I'm one of the parents, and so it's very dear to all of our hearts to do this. So if there's anything you need, any support, we provide families with direct access to the research team, or we provide them with paperwork that they might need to advocate for education in their schools, or whatever that might be. Just reach out, and if between the families and our team, help will be there. So we are here.
We're ready for 2022 and looking forward to everything that it has to bring with it. We hope it's positive and wonderful, and so looking forward to having everybody together. Fingers crossed. In July. Don't hesitate to reach out. Please make sure that you take a listen to our podcast, especially if you're a new family. We have a podcast specifically for you. They're found on Apple, Google, Spotify. Also, if you'd rather watch them, it's on our website, jordansguardianangels.org. So take a listen. Thank you for listening. I'm hoping that you can't hear the construction happening at my house, but you might. So my apologies if you hear the banging that's happening, the hammering and the sawing. So thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, well, you're doing great, regardless of that noise. So
never dull, right? So happy New Year to all of you. Carol, thank you so much. And yes. We will see you all. Remember, these podcasts will air every other Monday. So make sure you're subscribing and taking a look at and listen to them also. So
sounds good.
Thanks, Carol. See you soon. Bye, everybody.